random dog fact/story of the day is a story again. For the first time, I've tried training an informal fetch to hand by means of the put an object into another one trick. And yesterday, Chai did it for the first time and handed me a coin. I love it. What a fun way to train this behavior. Give it a try. Alright, I'm feeling the tiniest bit uninspired today, and I'm still doing way too many things at once. So I'll answer training questions again. I love those because I don't have to think of topics, and usually I get really good questions. I'll answer 2 questions today. They're kind of related. Both the trainers asking these questions already work with marker cues. Question number 1. Is it okay to praise my dog, or should I only mark the behavior before feeding? This is my personal opinion. Different trainers will give you different answers. If you have the kind of dog who thrives on social feedback, some dogs do, some dogs don't really, then yes, totally it's okay to praise. Just make sure that the words you use in your praise are not also marker words. For example, my marker words are usually in English and I try to praise in German. In an ideal world, if you were training a new behavior, let's say like you're shaping a trick, ideally you would, for example, click and then feed and only then praise. I will often, if shaping something precision related, not praise, but in more real world, less precision-y contexts such as recalls or just like walking on a loose leash or control unleashed games, I will 100% praise my dogs. I like talking to my dogs and they seem to enjoy it. Okay, question 2. This is my favorite. How do I get better at my food mechanics? The ideal order of events is first the marker signal, like click, yes, get it, anything you use as a marker. Then a tiny pause, and then you'll hand over or toss or otherwise deliver the treat or other reinforcer you're using. There are various ways of practicing this and getting it on autopilot. One simple one is to practice without a dog and video yourself. This way, you really only have to pay attention to your own mechanics without getting distracted by your dog. The reason I say this is that it is very easy to have the marker cue and the movement of the hand that is about to deliver a treat or throw a toy bleed into each other. Ideally, we want to avoid that, and that's why the tiny pause in between those 2 behaviors can be really useful. I'm going to give you one quote-unquote recipe of practicing getting better at food mechanics, and you can use that same recipe for any marker cue you're using. So you'll start by having a handful of treats and no dogs in the room. Then you'll consciously define a home position for your hands. For example, behind your back, hands touching each other, or behind your back, hands pressed against your lower back. Really feel what that feels like before you start. What does it feel like when your hands are touching each other or your hands are pressed against your back? You'll use this haptic feedback to help your timing later on. Next, define a behavior you will insert between the verbal cue or click and the reinforcement delivery. It could be blinking once, thinking a certain word, mouthing a certain word to yourself, tensing and releasing a specific muscle. Get creative and see what comes natural to you. I call this a transition behavior. Practice your transition behavior by itself too and see what that feels like. Practice with your hands in their home position. Now take a few deep breaths and remember the order of events. Marker cue, transition behavior, reinforcement delivery. Set up your camera, get your treats ready. Remember, no dogs in the room. You'll just toss or drop your treats as if there was a dog. Now get started. Deliver 1 treat after the other. 10 treats is a good number to get started. And film the whole thing and then watch it back. If you aren't happy with every single rep in your, let's say, 10 treat session, repeat. Film again, review again, and keep doing this until you like every single rep and the timing on every single one. And then the best part, open the door, let your dogs into the room to clean up all the food on the floor. They'll have a blast. All right, that's it for this week. Happy Halloween, Feliz Dia de los Muertos, or happy training.